In this world, a breakdown isn't an inconvenience, it's an engineering crisis. Standard repairs aren't always an option here. You need more than a mechanic. You need a master fabricator, an engineer who can create solutions. What you're about to see isn't just repair, it's the art of mechanical creation. The initial assessment of the broken-down truck begins, a classic case of engine failure. The lead engineer discusses her diagnostic findings with the vehicle's operator. An attempt to start the engine fails. This confirms a critical internal problem. She prepares for the next phase, a full vehicle recovery operation. A tow line is secure. The larger truck will act as the prime mover. The recovery is underway. The disabled vehicle is towed to the workshop. Back at the workshop, the real work starts. The engine teardown commences. She uses a wrench to begin disassembly. Her movements are confident and efficient. Each bolt is systematically removed. This is a deep dive into the power plant. A close look at the engine's wiring harness, a potential source of the failure. The air filter assembly is removed. A clogged filter can starve an engine affair. She meticulously cleans the filter. This simple step is vital for performance. The clean filter is reinstalled. The first step of reassembly is complete. She continues the rebuild, piece by piece. Her precision is that of a surgeon. The reassembly continues deep within the engine bay. Each part has its precise location. A final check of her work. The engine is whole again. The final connections are made. The system is almost ready for testing. The repair is complete, a look of satisfaction from the engineer. Another project begins on a different truck. This engine also requires a deep dive. She organizes the disassembled parts on a tray. This prevents loss and confusion. She moves to the undercarriage. The work requires getting into tight spaces. Her technique is efficient. She works with practice speed. She tightens a fastener with conviction. Applying the correct torque is key. She inspects a fuel or oil line. A leak here could be catastrophic. Now, battery maintenance. Clean terminals are essential for good contact. The engine is started using compressed air. A sign the mechanical repair was successful. She uses a power tool for final assembly, a modern touch on a classic machine. The scene shifts to a different, cleaner truck. This may be her personal vehicle. The repaired truck is inspected near a wood pile. It seems ready for work. A look at the severe body damage. This truck has had a hard life. A moment of rest. The team enjoys tea after a hard day's work. A low-tech but effective windshield wiper. Resourcefulness is key here. Another recovery operation begins. A small tractor provides the pulling power. The truck is successfully towed. Another machine is saved from abandonment. The convoy moves down a dirt road. The mission is complete. The truck is brought back for more work. The cycle of repair never ends. A new case study. A small white truck being towed in by a green tractor. The local fauna seems curious about the recovery operation. The decontamination phase begins. The truck's interior is filthy. She sits in the driver's seat, assessing the state of the cockpit. An unexpected discovery. She carefully removes a snake from the cab. She begins to strip the interior. A full teardown is required. Every screw is carefully removed. This is a meticulous process. Now, she moves on to the engine. A full systems diagnostic is underway. She continues the engine overhaul. Her experience is evident in her movements. A close-up on a single bolt. Even the smallest part matters. The driver's seat is unbolted and removed from the vehicle. She removes and inspects the air filter. a critical component for engine health. She disassembles the air filter housing, preparing for a deep clean. She carefully wipes down the filter, removing all dust and debris. Reassembly of the interior begins. The clean parts are reinstalled. Each component is carefully put back into its original position. The floor mats are reinstalled. The interior restoration is nearly complete. She continues to piece the cab back together with precision. The moment of truth. The engine starts. The truck has been reduced to a skeleton. She takes the stripped-down vehicle for a test drive, a successful resurrection. Now we move from repair to pure fabrication, building a new chassis from raw steel. She uses an angle grinder to cut the steel tubing. Sparks fly in the workshop. A colleague observes the work. Fabrication is often a team effort. Her cuts are precise and clean. The foundation, a strong frame. She consults with her partner and measures the steel for the next cut. The fabrication process continues. Each piece is cut to exact specifications. The process requires intense focus. A mistake here could ruin the material. The cut pieces are laid out. The basic shape of the frame is visible. She uses a grinder to smooth the cut edges. This prepares the metal for welding. She uses a tape measure again. Double-checking every dimension is critical. The grinding continues. This ensures a perfect fit for welding. The pieces are arranged for tack welding. This holds the frame together for final welds. The welding begins. The intense light melts the steel together. Her welding technique is steady and controlled, creating a strong, clean bead. The process continues around the frame. Each joint is fused into a single piece. This is metallurgy in action, the birth of a new structure. The fabrication requires skill and artistry, creating strength from raw materials. Her focus is absolute. The quality of the weld determines the frame's strength. She inspects her work. The basic frame structure is complete. The finished frame, a testament to her skill as a fabricator. A new project begins, welding another frame. The principles of fabrication are the same. She uses an angle grinder to cut steel. Precision is the first step of any build. She meticulously welds a corner joint. Structural integrity starts here. The frame begins to take shape, a rectangular base for a new vehicle. Now, grinding the weld smooth. This is for aesthetics and safety. The sparks fly as the grinder perfects the surface of the steel. The finished frame is moved, ready for the next stage of assembly. She continues to add small details, perfecting the custom chassis. The grinding continues, a final polish on her impressive fabrication work. The chassis is moved again. It's a heavy but satisfying piece of work. Now for systems integration. The suspension and axle are installed. She welds the suspension mounts to the frame, a critical structural connection. The wheels are mounted to the axle. The project is starting to look like a vehicle. She tightens the suspension bolts, ensuring a safe and stable ride. A final inspection of the rolling chassis. The foundation of the vehicle is complete. More welding, adding smaller brackets and supports to the main frame. She grinds the new weld smooth, maintaining a high standard of finish. One last check of the entire structure. Quality control is a constant process. The project is complete. She stands proudly with her creation. A final, beautiful shot of welding, the art of fusing metal with electricity. Another custom build begins. This engineer wears safety glasses for welding. She inspects the partially completed frame, planning the next steps of the build. She installs a small component into the custom-built chassis. The build continues. She adds another structural member to the frame. Now, the wheels are installed. She uses a wrench to tighten the lug nuts. The process is methodical, ensuring each wheel is securely fastened. She works on the suspension system, a critical part of any vehicle. The nearly complete vehicle, she welds a final bracket into place. The rolling chassis is complete. She inspects her handiwork with pride. Now for the most complex part, the engine. She uses a small hoist to lift it. She carefully secures the engine to the frame. This is a major milestone in the build. She welds the engine mounts, creating a permanent, strong connection. She inspects the welds, ensuring the heavy engine is secure. Another small component is installed. The integration of systems continues. She checks the entire vehicle. The complex build is nearly finished. A final weld secures a component to the custom fabricated frame. She uses the hoist again to maneuver the heavy engine block. The engine is bolted into its final position. The heart of the machine is installed. The project is complete, a custom vehicle built from scratch. The story of ingenuity continues. A new project, a custom motorized cart. The engineer begins by welding the frame. This build will integrate a motorcycle engine into a custom-built chassis. She carefully bolts down the suspension and axle assemblies. She uses a handsaw to cut a piece of metal, a simple tool for a precise job. She installs the wheels. The cart is now a rolling chassis. She drains the old radiator, preparing it for use in her new creation. She installs the radiator and engine. The cooling system is critical. She searches her toolbox for the next required instrument. She welds brackets for the engine, securing it permanently to the frame. The welding is precise, ensuring a strong and lasting bond. A wider view of the project, the cart is taking shape. She uses an angle grinder to cut steel for the steering column support. She welds the new piece into place. The steering system is coming together. The welding continues. Each joint adds to the vehicle's strength. She installs a component of the drivetrain, connecting the engine to the wheels. The steering column and wheel are installed. The cart now has directional control. The nearly complete vehicle, a testament to her skill as an integrator. A final component is installed. The cart is now mechanically complete. She inspects her finished work, a fully functional, custom-built machine. The engineer stands proud. Her creation is ready to be tested. Another custom build begins, this time, a three-wheeled vehicle. She uses an angle grinder to cut the raw steel tubing. She welds the frame. The sparks fly as the metal fuses. The welding continues, building the backbone of the new machine. She uses a power drill to assemble components, speeding up the fabrication process. The welding is precise and controlled, creating strong, reliable joints. The work continues. Her focus is essential for a quality build. The steering and front wheel assembly are now being installed. She welds the final supports for the engine, a critical part of the build. The seat is installed. The vehicle is now ready for a rider. She works on the undercarriage, installing the final drive components. She cuts another piece of steel to size. The fabrication is almost complete. She welds the final piece into place. The structural work is now done. The assembly continues as she integrates another component. The welding is the final step in the vehicle's primary construction. Another component is installed. The vehicle is nearing completion. The welding of the main chassis is complete. A strong foundation is key. She begins to assemble the body panels and other finishing touches. The final weld, the culmination of a long and complex build. The custom three-wheeler is complete, a fusion of design, skill, and hard work. A new project, a custom truck bed. The engineer begins her work. She uses an angle grinder to cut steel, the first step in any fabrication. She carefully measures and cuts each piece. Precision is paramount. She welds the frame together, the foundation of the new truck bed. The welding continues, each joint adds to the structure's strength. She assembles another part of the frame, the structure is growing larger. Her welding technique is clean and efficient, a sign of a true professional. The nearly complete frame, a strong and functional design. She grinds a piece of sheet metal, preparing it for installation. She carefully places the metal sheet. This will become the floor of the bed. She bolts down a component, securing it to the new frame. She uses a power drill to create mounting holes for the final assembly. She fastens the panels securely. The truck bed is almost complete. She uses a handsaw for a precise cut. Not all work requires power tools. The detail work continues. Her versatility with tools is impressive. She drills more mounting holes, ensuring a secure final product. A collaborator assists with the build. Teamwork speeds up the process. The seat is installed. The vehicle is taking its final form. She moves a long piece of steel, the final structural member for the bed. The job is complete, a custom truck, reborn and improved. The final project, another custom three-wheeler. The engineer begins by cutting steel. The fabrication process is familiar now, a dance of metal, fire, and skill. She continues to cut the raw materials, preparing them for assembly. The pieces are laid out, the blueprint for the new machine. She begins welding the frame, fusing the individual pieces into a whole. The welding is the heart of fabrication, where design becomes reality. She continues cutting more pieces. The design is complex and multi-layered. She welds the upright supports, giving the frame its three-dimensional structure. She grinds the weld smooth, a mark of quality and professionalism. She continues welding the main chassis. Her focus is absolute. The process is repeated over and over. Weld, grind, repeat. She continues welding the upright supports. The frame is getting stronger with each pass. The chassis takes its final form, a strong and functional design. She inspects her finished work. The quality control is in her hands. She cuts one final small piece, the last detail for the build. She welds the small bracket into place. No detail is too small. The final welds are completed. The fabrication is finished. The frame is complete, a beautiful piece of custom engineering. She measures and cuts another piece, perhaps an addition or a new project. The story concludes, a final shot of the engineer and her work. Another masterpiece of fabrication. The engineer begins welding a new frame. The process is a symphony of sparks and steel, creating a strong, cross-brace structure. She carefully lays out the next piece, ensuring perfect alignment before welding. She uses a marker to get the measurements just right. Precision is the key to quality. And now pride support is positioned. The frame is now taking on its final shape. The fully tacked frame is inspected. One last check before the final welds. The final welding begins, fusing the joints with intense heat. The work is complete. She stands back to admire her creation. She adds a final small bracket, the last touch on a perfect frame. Now, she adds the body panels, bolting them directly to her custom frame. She welds the panels in place, a permanent and rugged solution. She uses a power drill to secure the panels, ensuring a rattle-free fit. The meticulous assembly continues. The vehicle is almost complete. The build is finished. She admires her fully custom vehicle. She installs the battery, the final step before the first startup. She cuts the electrical wires to length, preparing to build the wiring harness. She connects the main power leads to the battery. The vehicle now has power. She builds the wiring system by hand, a truly custom electrical solution. Now for the finishing touch, paint. She uses a spray can for an even coat. A final component is installed. The vehicle is now 100% complete. A final look at the finished product, a custom machine, built with skill and passion. The work ends with a final, brilliant flash, the timeless art of creation. A very special thank you to the owner of the YouTube channel LSTULAN for creating this wonderful video and allowing me to comment. If you enjoyed this narrative, please visit and support their channel at the link in the description below.